Oh,
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Single in the City Where Kings Meet Queens. I'm Nicole Everett.
I'm Joe Keetra Horn.
Rain's dating coach.
And we are the love team. So it seems like forever since we've been on here.
I was
My
gonna say that. I was gonna be like,
Yeah,
I haven't seen you two in like forever. So
yeah.
yes, yes,
What
yes.
is?
So have missed the love
it's good to
team.
be here.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a minute though. I feel like it's been a minute.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
Oh, my heart ain't right. It's
I was
good to
trying
be
to do
here,
mine. I was
guys.
trying to get it together. Let me see. Yeah, something like
And
that.
we're wearing our Single in the City t-shirts.
Yes, representing Single in the City.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes. All right.
So thank you, Candace Sunshine Hair Johnson, for our Single in the City shirts.
Yes.
Candace.
We appreciate you, Candace. So, for
Yes.
those of you, if it's your first time checking us out, we have been coming together to put the fun back in dating since August of 2019. And since the pandemic, have been doing these virtual live chats on relationships. We've had various guests and various topics. So, if you're tuning in the comments, put the city and state that you're tuning in from. This is an interactive live chat, and we want to hear from you. We have a very interesting topic tonight. We actually have an author, Mr. Dean, Russell Dean, and we'll introduce him in just a minute. But again, put in the comments where you're tuning in from, what city, what state, let us know. And be sure to share, share, tag somebody. Bring the singles on. We want to hear from you. We want you to join in this conversation, right?
Well, I think tonight we can have on some married folks too, since what we're talking about.
We
Maybe
could.
they'll be ready to share their stories.
Absolutely.
Or,
Absolutely.
you know, never mind.
All right. So we got Marcus checking in. Hey, Marcus from
Rock
Chicago.
town. Marcus,
Yeah.
what up?
Hey, Marcus.
You sound like a boomerang. You sound like
Hey,
boomerang.
Marcus, which is another author that we want to have on.
Yes. We got
Hey,
Susan Jones
Susan.
checking in from South Carolina.
What's up,
Appreciate
Okay,
you.
Susan?
Susan, I like that profile with the vote, and I see the AKA, so I'm sure you're gonna be in DC come next month or
Right.
next.
We got Latanya on. She's out of the Atlanta area. Thanks for being on here, Latanya.
Hey,
Oh,
Latanya.
oh Lord, Marcus laughing at you, Joe Keecher. All right. So I actually most recently met Dean on Facebook. We actually have a few mutual friends because he's a rattler, just like me. But a mutual friend of ours did a post and he mentioned this book. So I commented, and then that's how we connected. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce Mr. Russell Dean. He's from Columbia, South Carolina. He has his own investigation agency, but he also is a Rattler FAMU alum, graduated in criminology. And tonight we're going to be discussing his brand new book entitled Slippin, A Female's Guide to Male Infidelity. A Female's Guide to
Woo.
Male Infidelity. So welcome, Russell Dean.
Yay, Russell! Woohoo! I'm ready. I'm
Thank
ready.
you. Thank you.
So, Russell, tell the folks a little bit about you.
Well, as you stated, I am a rattler, proud through and through. After graduating, I worked at a investigation agency in Florida, made them a whole bunch of money, and
Mm.
decided I could do that on my own. So moved back to my hometown of Columbia, South Carolina, and I have been blessed to be in business for 21 years.
Wow.
So I guess I can call myself a professional now.
Yeah, 21
I've
That's
years.
o-
what it takes. It takes 20 some years to be a professional.
I've owned and operated Dean Investigation Agency since 1999. In between then, I've done a lot of different things. I'm also a high school, college, and professional basketball official. I teach concealed weapons classes, SLED certified, NRA certified, and a Utah instructor. So that's also what I do. But one of the things I'm very proud of is having coached and started my own AAU program called South Carolina Kings. We are in the process of doing some really good things. I'm trying to keep under my hat, even though I'm so excited. But haven't been able to mentor youth for the past 15, 16 years has been very fulfilling. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm very active in my community, a member of 100 Black Men of Greater Columbia. My kids have graduated out of Jack and Jill, and of course, a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
What up?
Nice.
Okay, I feel like we need to have like a little banner scrolling across with all Dean information, and especially the investigative part. So you have done a lot of things. And listen, if you want to reveal what it is that you need to reveal, it's okay to do it here. You're a family. So let that excitement come out, because I tend to get a little overly excited. So, but congratulations on everything. I think that's awesome. Yeah. I love for African-American men that are doing it in the community.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I love that name too for the young AAU basketball team, the South Carolina Kings. I love the Kings part, of course.
Of course.
Exactly. And that was on purpose.
You training them up to find a queen too, right?
Right.
Well, there you go. I love
it.
I love it. So let's dive in. Tell us what prompted you to write this book and with this title.
Well, what prompted me to write the book was the number of cases that I've investigated over the years. And actually, this was a young white female who came into my office just distraught after I provided her the information about her husband cheating. And she was just like, women need to know. And I was like, So I literally went home that evening and started just typing away at the computer. And within 2 to 3 days, I was done with this book. So
wow.
Yeah, information just started just flowing.
That's them 20 plus years of investigation. That's what that was in 3 days. You just went ahead and condensed it all. That's what that was.
Hey, no, I think that was God handling them hands. Like, look, they need to know.
Yep. And funny thing is that I finished my book almost 8-9 years ago, and it had been sitting in my computer because when I finished, Steve Harvey had just put out his book. I mean, I was excited and was looking for a publisher and wanted to get it out. Then Steve Harvey came out with his, and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. So it had stayed in my computer for the longest. And maybe a year and a half ago, I let a friend of mine read it, and they were like, you need to publish this. So I did.
Nice.
Well, I think it's great to get a different perspective, though. So we finna go and take you to that level. But I want to also let you know that Grady Ross is watching. Do you know Angie Freeman? She's watching. All your rattlers are tuning in and showing you some.
Well, Grady is a Seminole. He's not a rattler.
I know, but okay. Angie is. Since I'm a Seminole, Seminoles really are wannabe rattlers. I'm just gonna let you know.
I know that. I just glad that you said that, not me.
Right. Yeah. So Grady mentioned your number 27. So I guess that's in reference to your sporting days.
Yeah, and Grady saw he rarely saw the front of it. He always saw the back of it.
Hey.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, look, Ernie gonna be like, quit playing. Anyway, okay, I don't want to take anything. So your book is titled Slippin, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
A female's
what
guide.
is it, Nicole?
A female's guide to male infidelity.
Right. So this is just really for us females, even though I can say, women, we cheat, as well. Uh-oh, what's that look for?
Yes.
No, we agree. Keep saying yes.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if we're gonna talk about that, but I do know that.
That's a whole different show.
Oh,
That's
is
a whole
it?
different show.
No, it can't be that bad.
That might be a series.
Oh,
Not
Wow.
a series.
wait a
Hey,
minute.
you know what though?
Wait
Hey,
a
we
minute.
don't mind. We don't mind you talking about it a little bit though. It may be a whole different show, but we don't mind you talking a little bit just to give a little balance. That's all.
Oh
Well,
my
Right.
God.
Yeah,
Well,
and I really wouldn't mind hearing too, because I think that women, when we cheat for different reasons other than
exactly. Yeah.
how men cheat. So of course, I think it's great to add that in there. But since you want to give us females a guide, we want to know, give it to us, because we want to know why. why?
Well,
Mhm.
let me tell you, there are women out there who think like men. So even though there's women have different reasons for cheating, and most of them are emotional reasons, there are some females who follow the men's category and just want as much as men do. So, but when women cheat, they are much more successful because when women cheat, they're often scorned, and when women get together, y'all can formulate some excuses that we never came up, we could never come up with. I mean, y'all band together like a pack of wolves.
Hey, wait.
So you saying it sound like to me you're saying that, correct if I'm wrong, women, they kind of team up with the cheating. So they kind of help each other out. So they throwing like different ideas. Like, girl, I don't know if you thought about this or thought about that. So it's a collaboration.
No.
It's a collaboration almost.
Women will lay groundwork for weeks.
They what?
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, may I say this, since you said that? Look, I had to put my phone down on that,
Please,
Mr. Russell. My theory is this, because I think when we cheat, because we just not out here giving away good men, and cheating on good men and men that's, treating us a certain way, whereas I think men, they can cheat on a woman that's doing everything for them, that's beautiful, intelligent, got the body, cook for them, they'll cheat on someone. That's just my theory. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and other women can chime in, but it's like, I think for us, it's almost as if it's like we're saying, okay, we done had enough. We can't take it no more. We tired of him cheating, tired of him lying, we tired of him doing this. But if he's doing everything, I don't think that if you're keeping a woman happy, that she's gonna just go and cheat just to be cheating, unless, like what you said, she's banging. And in that instance, I don't think a woman can ever be faithful if that's her reason for cheating, if she just wants sex. And then that means he's not pleasing her, maybe.
Okay, I understand everything that you're saying, but this was one of my most intriguing cases ever. This was a guy who they'd been married maybe 15 years. They had 5 children together, and she had one prior to the relationship that he was supporting in college. So that's 6 children all together in the home, and he was the only one that worked. When he got home, she left, and she was gone all night. I mean, all night. she came back just in time enough for him to go to work. So, of course, he wanted to know what was going on. Well, come to find out, she was deeply involved with one of the known drug dealers around town, and was actually a witness in the raid of the drug dealer's house. And I mean, it was crazy, because even though we found out everything that we needed to find out about her cheating, he couldn't leave, because she would still get the house, she would still get their one car, and he would have to pay child support for those 5 children of theirs. So, you know, and he was a good guy. Well, he is a good guy. So, you know, I understand what you were saying, that, you know, women aren't giving away good men, but he was a good guy who did everything that a man was supposed to do, and still was cheated on.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Whoa, I'm with Marcus on that one. But that's kind of an unusual story, right?
You will hope, Jaketra. You will hope. Remember, I see the look on his face. This is this is like, this is 20 plus years.
A series on the women right now.
This is 20 plus years.
Guide to the male infidelity.
We are supposed to be talking about the book. So let's go.
Right.
It's 20 plus years. I know he got another example.
Because you have how many chapters in your book?
I have actually 7 chapters, but they're really broken down into 4 parts. The 4 parts are simply why men slip, and in that part of the book, we're talking about the characteristics of men who cheat. There's several characteristics. You've got men who are looking for trophies. You know, the newest female in the office, the prettiest girl on the yard. Those are what we call big game hunters. So I'm sure everybody knows a big game hunter in their lives personally. But you know, we have men who cheat just because she's there. You know, men go on a business trip and, you know, get lonely in a hotel room. The maid is a cute girl, and things just happen.
Availability,
exactly.
The convenience.
Yeah, I think the statistics say that a lot of infidelity happens when men go on I guess when men and women go on business trips.
That's true.
One thing about it though is if he has someone that he's with, he shouldn't be going on a business trip empty. He should be going with like full, like just got finished. Like, you know, I mean, like you shouldn't even be looking for nothing. Like you should be tired. So that's why he should be going on a business trip like that.
Are you saying that when a man go on a business trip, a woman needs to make sure that he is full?
Full. Like he only had nothing left.
So what about the cases where there are women that do make sure that they're made?
Hold on.
Still, because, you know, if he's the hunter, he might be full, but he might not be satisfied, because if it's the availability piece, then it's not going to matter, full or not. He's still going to want it.
We have to pull up statistics on that. I guarantee it's lower statistics if he actually left and his wife put it on him and they went in for a couple times. I guarantee you the availability, or I guarantee you the percentage of someone cheating like that is a little bit lower.
It is.
Yeah.
We need to okay, next time I travel, I'm gonna ask the maids. I'm gonna have a conversation with them. Come here.
I would like to see what Monica says. None left. What
did she say? Dr. Monica, what are you talking about over here? Tantra, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm thinking she's talking about what you said, Nick, that
I know.
nothing in
Expound.
the tank. Look, nothing in the tank for him to want to be able to release.
Exactly. Which Russell was saying he needs to be empty in terms of being on E. There's nothing left to be released.
Exactly.
But I'm just thinking if he's saying that he's a hunter, you know what I mean? It's almost as saying that he's always going to hunt no matter what.
No, but if you know hunters, Keitra, so let's look at a lion. Once he's ate, he full. He ain't. It's the chase is out of him until like later on. But right now he's full. He's satisfied.
Well, it's the men that don't seem like they never get full.
So we got quite a few comments, or a couple comments from the lady. Susan wants to know, why does he have to be full? Just be faithful. Her being a good woman, that's not enough.
That's another classification.
Exactly.
And then hold on, Dr. Monica also wants to know. So she's asking, is the woman's fault? And she's saying that there's no such thing as empty for a man.
Oh, see?
I don't think nobody said it was the woman's fault. I think we was talking about statistics. I think nobody said it was the woman's fault. Nobody said that.
So basically, she's saying that he can't get full. You know what I mean? There's a reserve tank that he can still.
Well, we were saying it's a lower probability if that man is satisfied by his wife. And we're not saying that I'm not blaming the wife or whoever she is. It's a lower probability for him to cheat. That's what we're saying. We're not saying it's the woman's fault at all.
Yeah, not at all. We're not placing any. I'm not placing any blame on the woman.
Right.
Not at all. Not at all.
So Cammie says some people are big-eyed. Full ain't enough. I call that eyes bigger than your stomach. In this case, it might be bigger than something else.
But it also seems like when you travel, you know, for some people, it almost seems like because they're there, you know what I mean? Like you said, availability. And I agree with this, you know what I mean? And I see something, because some people don't know how to just look, you know, and let it be okay with just looking. They got to want to act as if I done looked, I done conquered, you know, and move on and do it all the time.
And that's part of the big game hunter's ego. Needing to feed that ego.
Okay. Edna said, sorry, Nick, that doesn't work. If he has the appetite for beef and he had chicken before he left, then he will seek the beef.
Now, she's saying a lot. So if he got an appetite for beef, why he getting chicken? What's the issue? So if he had an appetite for beef, you should be giving him beef, not chicken. I'm just trying to figure this out. Why he eating chicken if he like beef?
Maybe I will say he must.
Well, you know, another thing is that 80-20 rule. You know, that person could be fulfilling the majority of the needs, but you know, he can go get that 20% that he's not getting at home from somewhere else. And trust me, that 20% is out there.
That's a real thing. That 80-20 was a real thing.
Well, I have a question, Mr. Dean Russell. When you talked about the 80-20, you know, I guess if that's the case, you know, okay, look, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Get it together. What you got going on, Jakeisha? Get it together.
It's just so much with that when you talk about the whole infidelity in the male, you know, and the why. So I'm still just trying the why. So
because it ain't just one answer. That's the thing. It is so much. Yeah. It's so many things, and I'm pretty sure Dean will be able to tell us that it's so many different instances that can happen. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just one answer.
It's no black and white answer.
It's not.
So in all of your 20-some years, you know, when you have these different, I guess, categories, and even when you talk to men, because, you know, when you watch the show Cheaters, they always have some reason at the end. Like, what is the number one reason that you hear men say that, you know, why they stepped out?
Looking for something different that they weren't getting at home. They weren't satisfied at home, either physically, emotionally. or mentally. I mean, they just weren't being satisfied at home. And
So
then,
has there ever been a time when a man has said that it's them, because I always assume that it's not, whenever a person cheats, it has nothing to do with the other person. It really and truly has a lot to do with that person. So has anyone ever said, I'm jacked up? I got some issues. Have you ever admitted to that?
Now, I haven't had any men to admit that to me because, of course, when I investigate for a female, my contact with the male is normally just getting videotape or photographs or whatever evidence is out there. So, my contact and their why is translated usually afterwards by their spouse. So,
Okay.
getting an answer, wouldn't be something I'd be privy to.
Because you be incognito.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Even though
so let me just, I want to add this. Like, it's whoever cheats, it's always that person's fault, though. It's always that person's fault because nobody made you do it. You see what I'm saying? Now, it may be problems at home, but you still have to participate in the act. And I always like to bring up Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's like you looking at Beyonce, what more do you want? You see what I'm saying? What more do you want? I mean, what more can you get? So my thing is that you also got to look at the person. So it's like, if that person has not dealt with their demons and their issues inside of them, it doesn't matter who they marry, it doesn't matter who they with. They have to deal with themselves. So that's always my thing.
Exactly.
I agree. I was just wondering if anyone admitted, I don't have a problem admitting what I've done wrong.
So, Russell, any other reasons why men slip?
There's,
prevalent. I'll say prevalent reasons because I know we got 50 Shades of Gray up in here.
Yeah, there are, but I feel like I'm giving way too much away of the book.
Okay.
And I'd rather move on to.
Yes, well, let's move on.
The other topics in the book.
We don't want you to give the whole book away. So
yeah,
hey, Russell, you said.
Go ahead.
You set the pace, buddy. You set the pace.
Where can they get your book?
Pardon?
Where can they get your book?
Okay. Well, the next portion of the book is signs of slipping. And those are what you need to, when you see these red flags, you need to be like, oh, wait a minute now, something's not right. So
I think Joe Keecher is asking where, like on Amazon, where can access
no, I thought she said we need to get it. Okay. Where you can get it. It is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. It's in digital and paperback. I know it's on iTunes, Apple iTunes. So you can get it.
You have the book with you close by to hold up to show us?
Of course I do.
Of course he does.
There you go. Put it in our face. Okay. Slippin.
All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking to Arthur Russell Dean. His new book, Slippin, A Female's Guide to Male Infidelity. We've just covered Why Men Slip, which is the first section of his book. So let's move on to the next section. What's the next section about?
Okay. As I was saying, once you identify the characteristics, then you identify the red flags of things that will how women say their intuition checks in. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, if a woman feels something is not right, it's probably not right. I've never had anyone come to me. I'm sorry, that's an absolute. I have had a few women come to me, and I've not been able to prove that their husband is cheating. Or I'm sorry, I was able to prove that they were not cheating. But
that's so great.
Oh, that's an anomaly. That's like a shooting star.
You pretty much saying if they came to you, Russell, if they came to you,
do they get a refund?
I'm sorry?
Do they get a refund?
Oh no, man. They're paying me for my time.
So Russell, just to clarify, Russell, you pretty much saying that if they actually secured your services and they suspected them cheating, most of the time it was the case, right? You said that's an anomaly if they wasn't. Yeah.
Yes. 98% of the time. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you.
And Marcus is the author too. He wrote a book called
what?
I'm Burning.
Okay.
So Russell, you said that there, woman's intuition, typically is on point. Anything else in terms of red flags?
This day and age, cell phone. Cell phone is the number one indicator. If nothing is going on, then y'all should be able to share each other's phones. But if you're a female and you ask him to use your phone, he's like, "What's wrong with yours?" Or I only got 2%. And it's 9 o'clock in the day when you know it's fully charged. No, you probably need to just delve into that a little deeper. But
really?
Also,
so passwords. So you should know your significant other's password.
I don't know if should is the right word, but if there was a lot of opposition to you getting it, then Pamela, if he carried it in the shower, there's something definitely going on.
Yeah, if he actually in the shower, taking the shower in his head, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I gotta say, because a lot of people take their phones to the restroom with them. I can't totally discredit that.
I said taking a shower with the phone, taking a shower,
but not. She doesn't mean literally in the shower. I think
that's what I mean.
Goes to take a shower, that he takes it into the restroom with him, and I'm not going to look at someone if they happen to go take a shower and they take their phone. They might actually have to go, and a lot of people sit on the toilet and they use their phones.
I play spades all the time.
Say what?
I play spades on mine all the time.
See? So I don't want to totally just wipe, for you to be like, why you. And after I dated this guy, that every time I took a shower, he would go through my phone. I'm sorry, I no longer want to leave my phone when I go to the shower because he was going through my phone. So I kind of have issues with that.
Okay. You said, I said in the shower.
That's what I said. I said the same thing, Pamela. In the shower. I'm talking about waterproof phone in the shower.
Yep, that's how I read
it. That's a little much. Actually, in the shower.
In the shower.
He might be playing some music in the shower. He might
play music all the time. I do the same. I take mine to bed. I like to play music too. So yeah, but
he might be making a TikTok in the shower. So
all righty.
Because I've seen that on Facebook. I have seen in certain groups where they ask if it's okay if your significant other has your password, and I just think that that's your personal phone. I don't want to go, maybe because I've had, someone to go through my phone. I'm real particular about that. So I don't want to go through your phone, and I don't necessarily want you going through my phone.
Okay.
Now, I didn't say go through the phone. I was just saying, if the phone, if you asked to use a phone or he was protecting that phone, like he really didn't want you to use it at all, then that would be a red flag. Now, somebody going through your phone, I mean, that's something totally different. But I'm just talking about just normal. Hey, my phone's upstairs. Let me use yours. And he's like, oh, well, I'll go get it. You know.
No
I
problem.
think that
No
comes
problem.
at
I
a
go
certain
get that.
time in a relationship. In a relationship, though, I think that comes at a certain time in a relationship. If you're just getting to know someone, maybe I'm just different, because I think that a lot of people have stuff in their phones, and I don't know. I think I would need to know you well enough before I want you to use my phone, touch my phone. Now, I'm not going to turn it face down. I know that's one of the signs. If a person is always turning their phone face down, then, or when you come around, they own the phone, but when you come around, then all of a sudden they want to put the phone down or hide the phone. To me, those are red flags that I pay attention to.
Exactly. But I guess we're already under the assumption that these are already committed relationships, not working your way toward trust, but having already established the trust.
Sorry. Marcus said he had a girlfriend go on his Facebook, unfriending his female Facebook friends who look better than
Wow.
Marcus, you telling stories now.
Wow.
You should have told her. You should have said, I'm sorry to be petty. You should have said, well, you're going to leave me with no friends, no female friends.
My friend
in that case.
My friend can't take a hit last night. What happened?
Wow. Now she was insecure. That's real insecure.
So, Russell, we have talked about red flags. Oh, it's probably been a while now, but some of the things that not only us, the Love Team, but some of the viewers have mentioned have been things like maybe he's working out more, or maybe he's sprucing up his wardrobe, or smelling a little better than normal.
Exactly.
Himself a bit more, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. If he's trying to slim down, if he's going out and buying the latest fashions, those are definitely flags that you want to take into account. And especially if for the entire time that y'all dated, he's been a slob. Now all of a sudden he's concerned about his appearance. That is a red flag.
I would like to add to that too. So if he's doing that and he's not asking the person that he's actually with, how do I look? I'm working out, trying to slim down. So if he's doing it and he's not even communicating to the person that he's with, that says a lot too, because he's doing it for somebody else. But he's actually communicating that, like, hey, babe, I'm trying to work out a little bit more, things of that nature. Maybe work out with me. That's different. But yeah, if he's just doing it and not communicating that, yeah.
Thanks for adding that, Nick. I think that adding that makes a big difference.
Right.
So
because it goes for women as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so those are the red flags. What else? Give us some more, because those are kind of ones that we kind of know. Tell us some that we don't know. I hate to be spoiler alert, but at least give us.
We gotta put on them 20 plus years. Like, what's some things like wow that you see?
Okay. One that I found very odd was coming in smelling like gasoline.
Oh, okay.
Like you.
Well, wait a minute.
He got a second job. Did he get a second job at the BP? What's going on?
Now, hold on now. Look, I just had gasoline spilled on me the other day. It can happen.
Okay.
You got a second job at the BP you ain't tell nobody about?
It can happen. You can spill gas all the time. However, gasoline is very strong. So once you come in, you have to immediately get that smell off of you by taking a shower. And Nicole is nodding her head. And you coming in taking a shower wipes away all all the evidence of anything that you've been doing prior to getting home.
So you saying he stopped at the gas station and squirted some gasoline on him, so that could be his excuse, so he could go quickly to the shower. But I mean, that could only work like one time. You can't come in and smell like gasoline 2-3 times.
That's what I was thinking, Jakeisha.
Huh?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you could do that about once, or maybe twice, but yeah, you can't keep doing that. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
And I had a case where the guy was coming home once, twice a week, smelling like gasoline.
He should have lit a match. On the third time, she should have been like, look, I'm gonna light this match. I'm gonna need you to be honest. What's going on?
Hey, and that's what I hear revealing. He got a second job at the Quickie Mart or the BP or Circle K.
Say something. Wow, that's good. That's good.
Now another interesting portion of my book is what I call locker room talk and barbershop talk. That's where, well, everyone knows the men only have two places where we can be men, and that's the locker room and the barbershop. And there's a strict men code that whatever happens and whatever's talked about in the locker room stays in the locker room. Whatever's talked about in the barbershop stays in the barbershop. I do mention in my book one time where everybody knows that the incident was with Kobe Bryant, where he brought up Shaquille O'Neal's name when there was no reason to bring up Shaquille O'Neal's name. And that was a clear violation of man code. And, to me, Kobe was kicked out the boys club ever since. So
I think the cigar bars is a new place too, in some instances.
Cigar bars can be. I'm not familiar, but they are growing. So I guess they can be a single place where men congregate, but women congregate in cigar bars as well.
Yeah. So what they talk about when they at these in the locker rooms and what they talk about? Can you give us some insight?
Well, I'll tell you this. We talk about the same things women talk about in beauty shops. How about
good
that?
Answer.
No.
Hey, good answer, Ruck. Good answer. Good answer.
No. We talking about getting our weed tightened. We talking about the reality TV shows. We do talk about every now and then. Oh yeah, he fine, girl. We might talk about who cheating on who. Who getting
that. Jakeisha, that's before you sit down. All right, be real. That's before you sit down. After you sit down, that's
I used to have a hair salon, so
that's before you sit down.
Since I owned it, I made sure we didn't get into all of that gossipy stuff, but I do know. Come on now, tell us, Mr. Russell. Tell us something. Give us a little bit.
All right. Well, one of the things that I found interesting. You want to hear it better the closer you get, Nicole?
Right.
Your mom be a tight mic. What you doing that?
Is what men look for in a side piece. If they're looking for something on the side, who are their targets? And for a lot of men, they're weak-minded individuals. And when I say
the moment they say side piece, that take them down to weakness.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Okay.
Men are often looking for the lonely women, or women looking for sugar daddies. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll go with that.
So they're looking for sugar daddies and lonely women, and what else?
No. Women
mama.
are looking for women are looking for sugar daddies, and men prey on lonely women, moms with kids who all their time is devoted to their children, and men come in there, with a 10-piece box of chicken, for the family, and work their way in.
Right. We're gonna let your kids go in and finish that. Come on in the back real quick.
Wow. So you're saying, so they have a good woman at home per se, or someone that they feel is not maybe satisfying them completely, but they're looking for a side piece to do all those things that the person at home isn't doing.
Exactly. Now let me tell you, these side pieces understand that they're side pieces and will do whatever they need to do for that companionship.
They play their role well.
Yes.
Well, some men are dishonest, and they'll say, oh, I'm going to divorce her, but she won't let me out of the marriage, or I'm waiting for the kids to graduate, before we can get a divorce. And they make the other woman feel as if she ain't just a side piece. Because there are cases where some side piece have been upgraded.
That's true.
So
became the entree. When it became the entree.
So Roz wants to know what kind of size he bringing though to go with that chicken.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Russell, Mr. Russell Dean. What do you want us to call you? What you want to be?
Russell's fine. My dad was Mr. Dean.
Okay, well, Russell, why do you think men cheat? I mean, I know this question is always asked, but in your opinion, why do you think that men cheat?
That's a big sigh.
I'm sorry?
That was a big sigh right there.
Yeah, because, just like we said earlier, it's not a black or white reason, but the majority of men who cheat, it's more physical than it is emotional. I mean, and to be honest with you, it's hardly ever emotional. There's no emotional ties whatsoever. It's all physical or feeding their ego, putting that extra notch in their belt. I know people who are in their 50s and still are, on the internet trying to find, something new. I mean, it's unbelievable, but some people just stay in that mode of trying to conquer, I guess.
Do you think it's something incomplete within themselves? A sign of a lack of maturity or something?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, I know several people that still are in that college mode where they feel as though, just because there's different flavors of candy, they need to try them all.
So I just went back to Wendell, and thank you for sharing that, Russell. But I went back to Wendell Berry's comment that I didn't put up earlier. He said people cheat not always as an escape from their partner. Often it is to escape the version of themselves that they have become in the relationship. Any thoughts on that? Anybody?
That is very true. I've got an example of a previous case. There was a guy was a deacon in the church. He lived this straight and narrow life. He was very successful. Lived a great life, but literally had another family in another state that he would see once a month that gave him the opportunity to be who he really wanted to be.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, and that was mind blowing. That was mind blowing to me. To when I finally was able to get that evidence, you know, he was literally a different person in this town.
Wow.
So he wasn't no deacon with that other family. He was a deacon.
No, he
Was
wasn't.
afraid.
He wasn't.
That must have been a miserable life to live. You know, you're basically living two lives. Wow. Well, I had a comment for Etna. She said that the bottom line is he's not satisfied at home, but not every side piece is weak. Some side pieces are stronger than the wife. That was her comment. But I have a question, and it may for all the church folks. I mean, it's just a question. I'm not trying to say that it's okay. But is there ever a time when someone is justified to cheat? I know the biblical answer, so don't get biblical on me.
No, I'm not going to do that at all. But I can't remember the exact circumstance, but there was, I want to say, a celebrity just recently whose wife was ill, and he was taking care of her, but he had someone on the side that was known. I cannot remember who that is, but it was somebody just recently because I remember reading about it, and he took a lot of flack from it. But I think once his wife died, they ended up getting together. But you know, I don't know if I would say that's justified. But
First, was that B. Smith?
Was it B. Smith?
I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. So Roz is presenting a question. She said, "What do the
That's a good one.
what does the man who cheats think about the woman that they cheat on? And when the women don't leave them for cheating, do they still respect the woman that stays?"
Great great question, Ron. I'll tell you, there's a sect of men who are very successful, and their wives have grown accustomed to living a certain lifestyle. But those men, not just cheat, but they're bisexual, and their women, their wives stay around because without the men, they can't, you know, get into that club or go to that function, or won't be allowed those VIP tickets, and they stay around. Sadly to say, you know, I guess me knowing some of these people and seeing them, you know, I just kind of shake my head. But you know, women have stayed around in those type relationships for various reasons. But I think it is their lack of esteem to leave and forge their own lives without their man. And I wouldn't have the same mindset about you know, my partner if that was the case. So yeah, Roz, I agree with you on that, and no, I wouldn't personally be able to respect them, but you know, it happens. and it happens all the time. I mean,
So
Hillary Clinton.
So let me just chime in real quick. Well, we got DK on, but a number of people have been just commenting on your statement about the celebrity. It was B. Smith, they're saying, and you know, there was I think B was the one that had dementia or something. She was in New York, and there was somebody that was serving the husband during that time. So DK, who is our resident pastor, he's up
Hey,
in the Waldorf, Maryland area. He wanted to get some clarity on what we're talking about. He's coming in late. He says, so is the focus on men cheating or persons cheating, male and female? So DK, we have Mr. Russell Dean on, fellow rattler from Columbia, South Carolina. He's written a book called Slippin, A Female's Guide to Male Infidelity. A Female's Guide to Male Infidelity. And we have talked about why men slip. We talked about red flags. We talked about locker room and barbershop talk and cigar bars. And so we've been taking questions from the floor. All right. So Wendell came back and said people have the ability to justify themselves in their own minds, but it doesn't hold up to scrutiny from others. Find that to be the case.
Yeah, that's true. You know, in your own mind, you could be whoever you want to be, but people tend to see you for who you really are, which is probably a microcosm of who you really are. And you know, just like on the internet, you can be anybody you choose. So that is a true statement.
what gangsters?
So in your 20 plus years, and because you wrote the book, I'm assuming you have had more cases where there have been more men that have, slipped or cheated than they have been women, correct?
That is a fair assumption, yes.
Okay. So in your book, you have, I saw the chapters. So what are some of the signs or ways to catch a man if he's slipping? Oh, this is about to be good. We need to get my notepad.
GPS, great way. Put microphones in this.
When you give them to us, break it down. GPS, what we do.
Okay. You can.
I'm just kidding. There's no black men out there cheating because black men don't cheat.
And let me go back to your question. Yes, I will tell you more women have retained my services than men. A lot of times a man just doesn't want to know. So besides, a man will do his own investigation, and he definitely won't come to, or he would have a hard time coming to someone else explaining the infidelity of his wife, because that is totally ego driven. And every man that has come into my my office, I've had to hand a box of Kleenex to, because it's broken them down. And but not many men would be that vulnerable to someone else. So even though more women have hired me, there have been, I'm sure, varied reasons why that same number of men haven't come. So I don't want to say just because more women have hired me, more men are cheating. So I didn't want to give that type of false information.
All right.
Good clarity, Russell. That was good clarity. Good clarity.
That really was good. I'm gonna give it to you. You work on coming back for the series. Before you give us the ways to catch them slipping, I got affordable for the people that might retain your services. So you're in what states, and are you affordable? Is there a payment plan? How'd that work out?
Payment plan. Hey, McDonald's don't let you put that cheeseburger on that way.
Hey, as a former McDonald's operator, you're correct.
Hey, Russell, it ain't nothing like it ain't no payment plan like, hey, I seen them, but you gonna have to cash out me again. I do see them. What you want? I do see them. I'm still waiting on that next payment though. I do see them.
I'm so weak right now. Y'all need to stop.
No, what I do is I work off a retainer, and I bill my hourly rate off of my retainer. I will say my retainer is competitive as well as my hourly rate, and both are indicative of my my experience level. So
okay.
I'll say that.
21 years. So we got a lot of comments and questions. So Marcus wants to know, what about people who cheat because their spouse shuts down sexually for some reason? I think that would potentially fall under the justification realm.
I say, listen, it's okay to get a divorce. I'm sorry, Lord.
Jaquitra, I'm with you. I feel like you just leave. I mean, that's the other option that's not talked about enough. Leave. You don't have to cheat on nobody. Leave.
Yep.
So now, to circle back around to dealing with the question about, is there a time when cheating is justified?
No.
Okay. So Russell said
not, no. Because of that covenant. I mean, you are breaking the trust that you have established with that individual. I mean,
that's the biblical answer.
If well, I'm the covenant and trust is not so much biblical, but I understand what you're saying. But I guess my point is that if things aren't going well as far as sex in your relationship, communication is the key, because we all know that there's a lot of substitutes out there, and the substitute doesn't have to be another person. And if it is another person, people bring other individuals into their relationship to offer assistance. So,
to offer assistance.
So communication is the key. There's no reason to cheat, because cheating by definition is doing something underhand, and that is that underhandedness is not being open with your significant other to let them know what's going on.
Sounds like an entanglement to me. But what do I know? So Roz wants to know, she wants to ask all of us, based on what Russell's comment has been about income and status keeping women in certain situations, do any of us think that marriage in a higher tax bracket is more of a contract than a love agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Do I think there's any love in the Clintons' marriage? No. Love has been gone from there for a long time.
I mean, if you know the Clinton story and how they got together, that's like a no-brainer for them,
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you lost a woman emotionally, you done lost everything. That's just it. Once she's thinking logically and she's thinking about your money, she's doing things based on what she can get from you at that point, and you done just lost her totally.
Yep.
Okay.
No threesomes. Now that's no. But I know.
I feel that to death do us part speaks to the death of the relationship. When things die, put it away. Okay. Interesting.
Well,
interesting.
I don't agree with that, because that's like going into a relationship, signing a prenuptial agreement. You're already setting things up for the end, And if, and not trying to be spiritual, if you're in this for, until death do us part, then, that includes, the good times and the bad times. There's no relationship is going to be 100% smelling roses every day. I mean, that happens on, the guiding light, days of our lives and stuff like that. But that soap opera stuff is on TV.
So Pamelia said, what about when men are thinking about the money?
Hadn't run across anything where that was the case. I can't speak on that.
Okay. All right. So
they just happy to be there.
Did we cover all 4 sections of the book, or was there more?
He was going to talk about. He had started talking about how to catch him slipping.
Oh, okay. What to
That's
do
what
when
you're ready to get into.
Okay.
Can't forget that part.
How to catch him. Okay, let's go.
There's several types of GPSs that you can use attached to their vehicle to follow them. That
costs money.
Pardon?
That costs money.
They're actually not that expensive.
When you say not that expensive, how much we talking?
About $100.
Okay. That's too much.
Well, it ain't worth it to you, Jakeetra. It ain't worth it.
I think that if it gets to that point where you have to feel as if you want to track someone's whereabouts, to me, that's already a sign that something isn't right. You know what I mean? If it gets to that, I think for me, if it gets to that point, I'm going to feel as if I got to go and spend money on tracking my man because something's not right, then I need to leave the relationship because obviously there's something going on. But okay, so a GPS.
All right. Anything else?
Which is cheaper than having to retain you, right? Of course.
a lot cheaper. But,
okay.
But again, if you do find out that he's cheating through your own means, that is not admissible in court unless he admits to it in open court. So, yeah, you literally have to get someone else who is a disinterested party, like myself, to validate that information.
Way to plug yourself, Rose. That was beautiful right there, man. That was good. Because I didn't know that. That was good. That was good. That's good information.
Woo. Okay, so GPS is one way.
I hate that.
Yeah, we're not gonna compare him to Steve. No. He's Russell C. Dean, and his book prior to Steve Harvey's.
Steve Harvey cheated on number 1 to be with number 2, then cheated on number 2 to get with number 3, and he's writing a relationship book. So that's no. Please don't compare me to Steve Harvey.
I heard that before, Russell. I heard that before myself.
So, Russell, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. Now, what's your status?
I am single.
Okay, you single? Are you ready to mingle, Russell?
I am single.
Are you ready to mingle?
Russell's like, it depends on who you talking about.
I'm not asking for me. I'm asking
what I'm saying.
for the entire
viewership. Who you talking about?
Are you ready to mingle, Russell?
I am single. My current status is single.
Good answer, Russell. Good answer.
Because I see all of this changed when you said you were single.
The box that I check on my applications, my credit applications say single.
That doesn't help out any.
Relationship status.
So
single.
Look,
Russell,
because I'll be trying to hook you up in a minute. I got some
women.
friends that's close to you. look, are you around our age? If you went with Grady, I mean, you're around our age.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Russell.
Well, you know what? Y'all gonna steal Russell away. Behave yourself. You see how they talk about you, Russell? You see this? They own you.
Exactly. Thank you,
They
Stephanie.
own you, Russell. They own you.
Look at that smile.
I'm trying to look out for you, bro.
have a lovely smile, Russell. You have a lovely smile.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so let's go back to, okay.
I've got a great dentist.
It's about $100.
It's what?
You said the GPS. What next?
Put a sound device in his car, because when he's
Yeah, what's your height? Russell? You want to know what's your height?
When he's in that car, he speaks freely. So there's a lot that you can pick up.
Y'all speak freely, so y'all don't, because see, when I'm in the car, I'm singing songs. I'm getting my jam on. So when y'all in the car, y'all get on the phone and y'all start speaking to your boys and to the women.
Well, men, well, some men go outside and talk to individuals, but when they're in their car, there's no one there, and they can speak freely, and they're talking to whomever they want to set something up from the for the weekend, or all right, I only got about 15 minutes, I'll be over, be ready when I get there, whatever. So putting a device in the car would provide you a lot of information.
So you talk about like a bug, right?
Yes.
What are those roughly?
Well, what they have available that are even better are recorders, tape recorders that are voice controlled, that only activate once they hear talking.
Oh.
And they have a 10 to 12 hour lifespan, where if you put it in the morning before they left, you get a whole day of conversation.
Oh, wow. So David said, do you reserve stuff for men? Do you do reverse stuff for men, and like how to know when you are being GPS tracked and your phone is bugged? Well, we got some genius viewers, I swear.
David, great question. I actually had someone contact me a couple months ago and pay me very well to give him information to offset a investigator who was after him, who was looking into what he was doing, because frankly, he told me that he was separated for 4 months, and it would be another 8 months before they can get a divorce, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to not see anyone for 8 months. So he like I said, he paid me very well to give him some information.
Okay. So Pamelia said, if you're feeling unsatisfied, not getting what you need in the relationship, feeling like he's out there, just go. So, whew, all right. So yeah, that's a lot of work right there. But GPS, sound device, voice control, tape recorder, you said.
Yes.
Anything else?
I can't let all the secrets go.
Can't let all
read the book. Gotta read the book.
Gotta get the book.
Hey, gotta get the book or give you a call, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so David Lee said, good to know. Good to know. So I think the last piece of the book, I know we talked about how to catch him slipping. What do you do when you catch him slipping?
Okay, the last part of the book is, you know, what do you do once you've caught your man slipping? And that is personal, and it's not a cookie cutter answer, because it doesn't apply for everyone. Everyone, like I was telling you, women stayed for various reasons. Some women who have strong faith don't believe in divorce. So, there's always going and talking to somebody, trying to work it out. However, there are women who, once they find out, are scorned, and want to go for the juggler. There are, I know here in town, several attorneys who are known as bulldogs in the courtroom, and if ever you are looking for a divorce attorney, do not hire a man. Hire a woman, because she will become just as emotional in the court case as you are, male or female.
I've heard that before.
Male or female.
Yeah, I have a female attorney right now, and she ain't playing. You hear me? I just think that anything that deals with family issues, we do get more emotional. And some, not necessarily she's personally involved, but I think that we come from a different, perspective and see things a little bit differently. I think sometimes the male attorneys are just thinking about their check.
Yeah, exactly. I know one attorney who specifically asked their client, how do you want this to turn out? Do you want this to turn out where you and your husband remain friends, or does that matter to you? And
she was gonna go in.
Yeah, she tells him, if you want to remain friends, then you probably need to go hire somebody else, because I'm going for the juggler.
All right.
Now, are you originally from South Carolina?
Pardon?
Are you originally from South Carolina?
Not originally, but it's easier to say yes. We moved when I was in middle school, so I've been here 40 years. So yeah, I'm from South Carolina.
Okay. So you want me to hook you up with someone in South Carolina, or do you travel? What you do?
Boy, Jokeetra is on it. She trying to make this match right here.
We need black love.
I've got a lot going on.
We all do, Dean. We all do.
Got a lot going on. I've got a daughter. I've got a daughter who is starting grad school at Medical University of South Carolina. I've got a son who's still a sophomore at Hampton. Good gracious. And I've got a 6-year-old. So I'm busy.
Dean, not a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
Listen, go ahead and give them the rundown for the ladies to decide. We can accept. We know how to multitask. So you have 2 college students and a 6-year-old. Do you respond to inboxes or not? Do you appreciate them? I'm just joking.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you ever had a GPS? Yes.
Uh-oh.
So
That was
yes.
Marcus.
Oh,
and you know his name was Warren L.
No, personally, no.
I don't know if he meant personally, but have you done that for a male client?
I think you meant business.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you meant business.
Yeah.
Hey Russell, I don't think we ever got to really, for you to tell us all the states that your services can be provided. I don't think we got through that.
I work in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. I
Okay.
service all those areas. Of course, not me personally. I've got people that work for me. But we'll be more than happy to field any calls. You can go online, deaninvestigationagency.com. That is deaninvestigationagency.com.
I'm sure you do referrals too for areas.
Yes.
Cool.
So I have a question then. When do you think is the like opportune time for someone to contact you? You know, when do you think, okay, I need to call a professional? You know, my intuition is kicked in. You know, I may have seen some of the signs with the gasoline. You know, when would you say you need the place to call?
Immediately. Whenever you get that feeling, go ahead and call. Don't let things fester. Because, be quite honest with you, sometimes things just run its course. And although he may have cheated for 2 or 3 weeks, that may have been it. Now, we have been able to, go back and get that previous information from when they did cheat, but normally once they've stopped cheating, it's over. There's nothing else to get. But one piece of advice that I give all the time is if you suspect him of cheating, don't confront him with it, because you confronting him is going to make him cover his tracks more.
Tip him off.
Yeah. Be more careful.
Right.
And definitely don't tell your girl, don't tell friends, because it will most likely get back to him and make my job or any investigator's job that much harder.
Russ, I think you made a good point too. Like you said, call immediately, because it may not be anything also. So that means that you just want to get closure until you find out that it wasn't anything. So you actually moved on a relationship and it was nothing, versus you thinking about it fresh. And then of course you're going to start, it's going to come into your relationship, because you're going to start looking at them differently, the trust and everything. So like you said, contact immediately. It may not be anything, or it may be.
Exactly.
So,
Now, I'll
so
tell
the
you
thing
another,
that you hear.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, another demographic that hires me often are parents who feel as though, their daughter's being taken advantage of, and they want to know what's going on.
I can see that. I can see you might get a lot of those calls.
Yes.
But it seems like once they reveal that to their child, that only makes the child want to I think it would be hard for the child to just stop. Like they would have some type of animosity towards their parents for doing something like that.
And that has been the case, but a lot of times they want that help, but don't know how to, or maybe too ashamed to ask for it, or for whatever reason they felt as though they didn't have an out.
I'm pretty sure they appreciate the knowledge once they find out, though. It's like they get over it. Eventually you're going to get over it. They appreciate that knowledge.
Exactly. I didn't see that last question. What was that last question that came up?
Amelia asks, how much trust is there if you're hiring an investigator?
Well, that's a great question. That trust is already broken once that man cheats. So, are you really going against the trust of the relationship by hiring an investigator? No, what you're doing is securing your future. And what a lot of women don't know is that although they're paying our fees up front, once they go to court, their attorney asks for those fees back. They ask to be reimbursed for the investigator's fees and the attorney fees. So I tell people all the time, look at this as an investment in your future, not just you're paying out money that you won't ever see again.
So I have a question. You know the saying that once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you think that holds true? When you were saying that, once a man, it could be he cheated for 2 weeks and then he no longer wants to cheat. What are your thoughts on that?
Here's that side again. Oh, man.
I'm sorry. Look, I done made you do that 3 times.
It's because it's not a black and white question. It's like, that's a tough question. That's a loaded question.
Yeah. And that's true. Now, for whatever reason he cheated that first time, who's to say that reason won't come up again? But once a cheater, always a cheater, that's hard to say because men grow out of it. Men grow out of, you don't continue to do childish things once you grow out of it. So,
well, come on now, Russell. Now, a little while ago, you talked about there are men that are in their 50s that are still, searching, I guess, the internet or whatever they're doing. And I guess it's safe to say that those technically are still boys. They haven't really elevated to the whole man,
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
and then go ahead.
It comes a time in a man's life when, that gets old.
That sound like a song right there. There comes some time in a man's life.
When
they make a song about that.
He's had enough. He's had so much that it doesn't mean what it used to for him. Now he's looking for, that emotional tie, or, like an old lady told me, she said, find you somebody who wipe your butt when you get old, because, that's the person that's going to love you for the rest of your life. So,
I can agree with that. Although I think somebody had a comment earlier where they said that that's when they get in a wheelchair. They be sitting in their smoking jackets and in a wheelchair. Then that's when they want to settle down. Mm-hmm. So another question is, has there ever been a time where you have not accepted a case?
There's been times when I didn't want a case and I gave them a retainer fee that I didn't think that they could come up with. And, sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. And if they did, I was like, okay, I'll work it. But when they didn't, I was like, okay, good. I didn't want that case anyway.
Now, what would be a reason for you not to want a case?
The person would come in with unrealistic expectations. I tell everybody, cases aren't solved in an hour plus commercials. I mean, it's not, it doesn't happen like that. It takes time. Every day you build on certain things. And a lot of times people come in with very little information, and we've got to develop a case. Mm-hmm. But there's often times where people have, he's going to be here at such and such a time, and I know he's going to be with her, and we go out there, get everything.
Oh, wow.
I've had a case where it took me about 8 to 10 months, and I've had cases where it's taken me hours. So it literally varies. No two cases are the same. No two cases are the same.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
going to
you
ask.
don't do like they do on cheaters, where you confront, like you said, you go and someone says, oh, he's going to be such and such, I know he's going to be with her. You don't confront the other person. You just get the photos and all of that, and then let her do it, or how do you do it?
Yeah. I do not call clients when I'm on a case. I've always said that even before. I don't know if y'all remember a case years ago. It was a dentist who the investigator told her that her husband was at this hotel with his paramour. She went to the hotel and ran him over like 4 or 5 times in the parking lot of the hotel. I'm talking like doot, doot, doot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
She went to jail, but
Did she kill him?
yes.
Was the PI an accessory to that murder or something?
Now, I don't know, but that would weigh very heavily on me, and that's why I always said I didn't do it. I did it one time. I did it one time just because this girl was 20 something. They were recently married, had a 3-month-old baby, and he was at the Motel 6. This is an attorney, a high-powered attorney here in town, and he was probably one of the youngest partners in his firm. But anyway, I called her and I told her how to get a key to the room because he had already checked in with the girl, and they were in the room. And I said, "This is how you do it. Tell the clerk that that you are." All right, I gotta start laughing. Tell the clerk that you are his wife. Show him your ID. Have the baby, so it'll be more sympathetic. And say, "I just got in. He didn't know I was coming. He's knocked out. He's not picking up the phone. Can I get a key?" And sure enough, they gave her a key. The only thing that saved him was that he put that chain on the door.
Oh,
because she was coming in. And this is a little thing. She was like 5'2", 100 pounds. When he finally opened that door, she beat that girl. She beat
the girl?
Yeah.
Now that ain't right.
Exactly. But I said I would never do that again. And I videotaped the whole thing. And the next day when she came into my office to get her information, I showed her that videotape and she could not believe it was her. And
she got some strength from somewhere.
I've never done that before. I've never done that again.
Okay. Wow.
Look, Russell, Mr. Dean, see, I have a personal question to ask you. like I have been already.
Everybody talking about how messy that was, Russell. They call you Jerry. What's his Jerry Springer? Jerry.
That was, but when you're on that end, you appreciate it though. You know what I'm saying? But I have a question to ask. So in your 20 plus years, and witnessing all of this, has that made you feel some kind of way about a relationship? Do you view relationships differently because of the profession that you're in? No.
Everybody's different. I take people, as they are, as they present themselves until I find out different. But I tell my children, you know what I do for a living. So, tell me now, because you know what I do for a living. So, but to answer your questions, no, I don't go into a relationship, side eye or, looking for this or that.
Well, I'm sure you tell them up front what you do so they'll know that you know all the red flags and all the signs.
I do inform people of what I do, yes.
So y'all hear that, ladies.
All right. Russell, anything else you would have us know in closing?
One section of the book I didn't get a chance to go over, and I think it's very informative, is it's the section that says demystifying male behaviors, and that's really me kind of breaking down what men do and what men say, and giving women the lowdown on no, he didn't mean that, he meant this.
Mm.
And I'll tell you, one is when he never takes you out. Well, he doesn't want to take you out because he's probably known around town, and him taking you out is going to get him busted from, he doesn't want those circles to overlap.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a good tip, Russell. Thank you for sharing that. So we got a few folks that are joining us. We are
I got my church finger up.
to Russell Dean, and he wrote a new book called Slippin, A Female's Guide to Male Infidelity. I think Regina asked earlier, and I didn't put her question up, about the women cheating. Regina, we covered that earlier in the broadcast. Here it is. Okay, what about the female? They cheat as well. So we covered it earlier. I told Russell he's gonna have to come out with another book talking
Well,
about.
he already said that, that it's a series. That's a whole nother, we have to invite him back to talk, because I'm sure that will be real juicy on that part.
Yes,
but look, I have someone that made a statement. Can I run it by you? Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pamela Green, and I think she's an attorney. She said, if you live in Florida, do your research. There are laws that prohibit recording people when they have an expectation of privacy.
That's true. I cannot record anyone, like the videotape that I secure for my clients. Mm-hmm. I can't have audio with that. It's just video, because audio tape, you do have that level of expectation of privacy. Now, when I say if you're married, you can put anything in your car that you want to, because that is community property. That is both you and your husband's property. So you can put a listening device in there if you want to. So and I started in Florida, and I know all the Florida statutes and codes. But yeah, she is correct that in Florida, well, not just Florida, but there's a level of expectation of privacy, even when you're outside. Like I can't videotape in someone's house. They have to be outside. Like I can't sit and use my camera to zoom into someone's house and get that videotape evidence.
Okay.
So do y'all have to go to get recertified and take all types of trainings for that field?
We have to have continuing education classes. Laws change. They want to make sure that we're up on everything. I know here in South Carolina, we're the last to do everything, but they're making it a lot tougher now. I know, 30 years ago, all you needed was a clean background and you could be a PI. Now they have certain steps that you have to take before you can get your PI license.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Russell, what's the best way for folks to connect with you?
Online, my email address is rdean92@AOL.
All right.
First initial, last name, year I graduated from FAM at AOL.
All right, damn you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Good deal.
And you never did answer my question about if ladies come into your inbox, do you respond to inbox messages?
You know what? I've never had anyone come in my inbox.
All right, ladies.
I've never had anyone come in my inbox, so I wouldn't know how to answer that question.
Well, Jokeisha will make it happen. Trust and believe.
You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out tomorrow or tonight.
Oh my gosh. Hey Shelly, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you.
All right.
Yes, go Rattlers. So
that's it, ladies. That's a good way to start the conversation, especially if you went to FAMU.
So Russell, we appreciate you being on the live tonight. This has been a great discussion. Ozzy said, "PI them, Russell. PI them."
It's been very informative. I definitely can say that. So I definitely, if Nick and Nicole are okay, I definitely would love to hear you speak on the women series, just to hear that part of it.
Can we just put a caption up there? Women are scandalous. And
wait a minute.
Well, you know what? That's so amazing. I was going to ask you, if you called the guys Slippin, what would you title the women? So you're saying that you call us scandalous.
He didn't even have a title. You just helped him title it just then, Jokeisha.
Yes.
Aha moment.
I would work with scandalous somehow. That would be in the title.
Dang, you just threw us all the way under the bus.
Not you, just the ones cheating. Just the ones cheating.
And rolled over us like the lady did.
What was that sound effect, Russell?
Doot, doot, doot. Oh boy.
You did. Did say that.
Wait a minute. They said, wait a minute, bro, Russell. Wait a minute. Call it scandalous around here.
I really appreciate y'all having me on here. Nicole, it's been awesome. I do need to shout out to Callie Gallman, who has assisted me and has written out my script for me tonight. So she is a fellow Rattler as well. She has a PR company here in town.
Rattlers in the house.
Yep.
Russell, you ain't need no script. You got
Is she single?
Pardon?
Is she single?
Callie is single. She is single.
All right, we need to see Callie. I need to see her.
Okay.
You got them with the sound effects tonight, Russell. I think they're gonna be rolling with that for a while. All right. So again, thank you, Russell. We appreciate you. Again, you got to come back when you get that second book out and about. Again, folks can connect.
That'll be that'll be next month.
Look, right. With these cases he's had,
But I don't think you necessarily have to have a book written. I think
there's Callie right there.
Hey, Callie.
Oh, hey, Callie. Oh, Callie is beautiful.
Well, I can't see no picture on my end. I don't see no picture on my end.
I can't see a picture either.
You married anyway, so
I ain't blind.
A mess.
But I think that, Russell, I think that you could still speak on, you've had enough cases, that you could still speak on, the scandalous women, so to speak. I think it takes some time to come back and talk about it.
I tell you, I found that probably about 50% of the women that cheat are cheating with same-sex individuals.
No,
That's a stat for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's not true.
Oh, it's anything goes nowadays. Anything goes.
Is that a
They
more,
done had enough of the D.
is that a more recent phenomenon, Russell?
I say within the past 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody looks a
That is
little,
so scary.
people are a little
Yeah.
taken
I
aback
mean,
by that.
Well, maybe we don't want to talk about that percentage.
see, Shantae, shocking but true.
At least I don't. I don't want to talk about that percentage, Russell. Okay.
That's part of the scandal. That's part of the scandal.
No, we don't want to. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it for me. He done shut me down.
You shut all the way down, Russell.
Yes, night night.
That's one of those Grady quit playing shirt.
Oh, goodness. Again, thank you, Russell. Thank you to our viewers. If you all have not gone to our YouTube channel, please check us out. Single in the City Where Kings Meet Queens on YouTube. All of our broadcasts are there. And like us on Facebook and share. We got content coming out. We'll be back in another 2 weeks or so. So,
And purchase Russell's book.
yes, and purchase Russell's book. He's on Amazon. Again, it's Slippin, A Female's Guide to Male Infidelity.
Yep.
Hold it up.
Get it in our face. You gotta put it in the face. There you go.
Yes, he's holding it up for us. So, all right. And if you need some,
I appreciate your time and wish y'all continued success. Y'all have been awesome. Love you guys. Take care.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
All right.
All right. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.